And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you are ready. Hope you're excited for the final matches here of the tournament. We have our first finalist. Clem has made it to the grand finals, and now we are here to determine who will face off against him, one Protoss or the other. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the Canadian Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. Let us go. Whew. Now we are jumping into our match, jumping into our series here, into our PvP. And I'm always excited to see what Trigger has up his sleeve. For those that are curious, Trigger, he has been living in South Korea ever since pre-EWC. So Trigger, he's been in Korea for quite some time at this point. Has been enjoying himself, has been practicing, has been training, has been leveling up. And that has been reflected in his play. I mean, there's a reason why Trigger is here in the semi-finals. Took down some big names to make it this far. Had a clutch series between himself and Bunny to make it to the semi-finals. Did bring him down. And we'll see if he can contest against herO. As we do see Trigger setting up on the low ground. Going to be a gate expand setup here by Trigger. Going for a gate cybercore into expansion. You can see here Trigger, he goes for a single gas opener. That means that Trigger, he's hoping to get his expansion a little bit faster. So Trigger, he's hoping for a faster Nexus. As long as herO doesn't deny him, doesn't block him. Speaking of, the probe is in position. Oh! herO does leave, but alas, Trigger, he does throw down his pylon, his gas as well. So his expansion is going to be delayed. Meanwhile, herO opening up similarly, opening up with a gate into Cybercore, into Nexus as well, just on the high ground instead of the low ground, but is going for a very similar build. Except herO has faster gas, which means faster Stargate. So herO can opt for a faster Stargate instead into Oracle Harass. Trigger is hoping for the faster Nexus. Oh, probes, they do clash. Trigger, he has the minerals. He has the minerals for the Nexus, and oh, does he get it? Oh, not quite. Yeah, there we go. Force it down the Stargate instead. Stargate open out of Trigger, Stargate open out of herO, and this is how Phoenix Wars are born. Let's go. Both players open Stargate. herO, he scouts, he confirms. Trigger should do the same, should scout and confirm in the main, and both players should make Phoenixes, and they should not stop making Phoenixes. Phoenix Wars have begun. Oh, let's go. Not again, Pappy, not again. So do have to commit. Trying to break out of Phoenix Wars is possible, but difficult. And there we go. First Phoenix is on the way for herO, and the first Phoenix should be soon on the way for Trigger as well. herO has a slight lead, a slight advantage, but only slight. Does mean that he will have faster reinforcements back at home. It means that Trigger has to be that much more careful. I'm sure Trigger is aware that his opponent has a faster Stargate. So Phoenixes are massing up. And when it comes to Phoenix Wars, a little bit comes down to the first big fight. A little of it comes down to how the first engagement does occur and who loses their first Phoenix. It's a very delicate dance here between the armies, just because of how fragile and how quickly Phoenixes can snowball out of control. And snowball in favor of one player or the other. The fights, they finish real quick. It's very unforgiving. There's a reason why a lot of people don't necessarily enjoy playing or watching Phoenix Wars, is because of just how intense it can be and how quick it can be over. One wrong move and it can cost you the game. As Phoenixes are building up. Meanwhile, second Stargate on the way for Trigger. We should soon be seeing a second Stargate for herO as well. Keeping our eye open for that. Trigger taking his gases. Trying to be active. Adept does get caught out. Nice catch out of herO. Does shade away. Shades the hell out of there. There's that second Stargate for herO as well. Looking at the units tab here, we have an even Phoenix count. 4 versus 4. Even so far. Trigger, he has to pull away. Has to pull out. Here he pulls out. Catches the Zealot. Beast come in. Oh! And here he will have that sword to support. Ooh, we'll take down one. Oh, that was a rough trade. That was a rough trade for Trigger. We'll lose 2 Phoenixes. Has to back up, but reinforcements need to arrive just in time. And with that, the armies do clash, to do back up. Ooh, even trade 3 for 3. Trigger, he will catch a Stalker. Again, that was a very, very close fight. Here he does get into the mineral line. Ooh, but does not get a probe. As our players, they do calm things down. Fleet Beacon on the way for Trigger. And going for Phoenix range. When it comes to the unit count at Trigger, he has a 1 Phoenix advantage. But because the map is so large, it does mean that even if you have a Phoenix lead, the Phoenix is most likely making its way across the map. And it won't be part of the main fight. So you have to be very careful with how you engage. Then it's called out. herO expands, takes a 3rd, and Trigger should not be too far behind. There we go. There's the 3rd base as well. Both players going to be expanding. Both players settling in. Building up more Phoenixes. And it's all about making sure the Phoenixes stay stacked as well. When the first big engage happens, if you're not stacked up, then your shots don't line up either. And you waste DPS, your opponent doesn't, and your opponent will win the game, or win the fight, and the game from there. So very important that they stack. You see herO making his way towards the main. Trigger just outside. herO going for the mineral line, does get in. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. 4 pro kills, up to 5, up to 6. Trigger, he does collapse in. Ooh. We'll take the fight. Shuts down the Phoenixes. And was this worth it for herO? Sure, he got half a mineral line, but herO should lose everything here. As he's going to get cornered, forced to recall. Going to lose 1, 2, oh my god, losing too many Phoenixes. And with that, looking at the units tab, Trigger has a 3 Phoenix lead, and he needs to press advantage. He needs to move out here and now. Now is the time to strike. When herO is low on Phoenixes. herO knows it. We have shield batteries on the way. We have a shield battery here at the natural, shield battery at the 3rd. That will help. But Trigger, he has to send it. He has to send it. He's moving out across the map. His army gets spotted by the pylon. Ideally stacking his Phoenixes. herO coming in from behind. Catches a Phoenix. Yeah, they will clash. Awkward fight for Trigger. Does reinforce though. And with that, he will take the lead. Shield battery does help. Ooh, but he takes him down. And Trigger, he should have this. I mean, the shield battery is helping. Ooh, but takes on another Phoenix. And another. I mean, shout out to Phoenix range. Yeah, and herO, he gets overwhelmed. He gets completely overwhelmed. The power of Phoenix range. Extra shots. And with that, GG gets called. And Trigger will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. We'll take a lead in the series. Oh my god. Whew. Here we go. And with that, we're getting into game number 2. Gonna be jumping into game 2. And we'll see. As herO, he's opting to go for Frostline. Okay. Frostline is coming up next. It is, of course, herO's map of choice, and on a map like Frostline, we might see a different dynamic here. I mean, we probably will. This is not a map where you can freely go into Phoenix Wars. We don't really have that kind of economic setup. So we're getting into game 2. Whew. And we'll see if herO can recover. We shall see. Again, in this kind of map, we should be seeing a very different dynamic. We should be seeing like 2 gate openers into aggression. Could even see a proxy. Keep an eye on both herO and Trigger to see how they approach this. So loading on it. Here we go. So we're getting into that second game. Trigger letting us know that he's a little bit nervous. Understandable. Very understandable. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. Down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. As Trigger does take a lead in the series. Does take a lead. And we'll see if he can close it out. If he can make it to the finals, that'll be crazy. Oh my god. Can he go all the way? Trigger's moving out with his probe scouts. herO opening up with his double gas. I would imagine should be seeing a cyber core behind this, but we'll keep our eye on the players. Frostline is a large map, that is true, but the natural base is not very well defended. It's very wide open, so we should be seeing 2 gate openers all around. We'll keep an eye on our players, though, as there is no second gateway for herO, and there is a second gateway for Trigger. So Trigger has the option to go for a 1 base all-in. 2 gate opener against gate cybercore into expansion. herO doing his best max packs impression. Now again, if you've been watching the Cranky Ducklings over the past couple of weeks, you would know that herO has been going for this opener very often. Very often we have seen herO opening up with a gate cyber expand. Has been embracing it over the past couple of weeks here, doing his best max packs impression. A lot of Koreans have been following suit as well. It's been interesting to see the shift in the meta, especially amongst the Korean Protoss players. Meanwhile, probe is in position. Zell comes out. Trigger he dips in. With this double gas opener, we should be seeing a Stargate first, Stargate, then expansion. There's a Stargate, and herO, Trigger, he does open up double Stalker, but there is no proxy. There is no second probe, there's no proxy being set up either. Even though I do think that a 1 base all-in could be a good response against this, Trigger is not really set up for that. We'll be expanding instead. Does go for the pylon block. Up! Pylon's getting low. And the pylon is going to be cancelled momentarily before it finishes. It's cancelled in time. Trigger moving out. You can see herO rescouting, making sure that there is going to be an expansion. Understandable. Nice catch out of Trigger. Oh my god. Does shut down the Adept. Very nicely done. Meanwhile, pylon block here across the map. Will delay the expansion. Trigger, he has 400 minerals, but no expansion. No Nexus. So Trigger, he is delayed. Forced to throw down tech. He throws down a Twilight Council. Stalkers, they get across the map. What is there to defend? Ooh, not much. Cell taking a lot of hits. Takes a lot of damage. Nice kiting here out of Trigger. He will shut it down. Oracle does arrive. Against 2 Stalkers, though. herO, he can't take this fight. Oh, yeah, he does misjudge this. The Oracle takes a lot of hits, and Trigger, he has momentum. Back at home, he does expand. He's going to be reinforcing. Moving out with 2 more Stalkers. And herO, herO, he's in trouble. Trigger, he can snowball out of control here and now. Forcing herO back, getting free damage on the Nexus. herO does have a shield battery. Thankfully, with the shield battery, he can hold on to the main. But what about the natural? Oracle taking more hits, making its way towards the main base. Shield battery is done. Trigger, he's ready. Trigger, he will be able to deal some hull damage here. herO activating the pulsar beam. Oracle's gonna go down. Guardian shield gets activated. And herO, he's losing far too much here. Bleeding out far too much. herO in so much trouble. Trigger, he's not reinforcing. Bear that in mind. So what you see is what you get, which means eventually herO will hold. Force to make a Void Ray. herO will break out, and Trigger, he races back home. Whew, the aggression has ended. If Trigger was reinforcing with more Stalkers, then you could argue he might have been able to break herO then and there. Oh, the stasis. Stasis trap gets triggered ahead of time by the probe. Catches 1 Stalker. Trigger racing back home. herO counterattacking, this time with a Void Ray, with Stalkers, with extra Stalkers as well. Oracle towards the main. Trigger's in position. Oh, no shield battery. No shield battery at the natural. Risky move here by Trigger. There's no shield battery set up. Stalker goes down. Nice pickup. Trigger moving in. Leading out of the Stalker. Does get the Void Ray. But again, there's no shield battery behind this. herO, he can overwhelm. Oh, takes out the Stalkers. There's 3 Stalkers left. Oh, likewise, though, herO bleeding out too much as well. And with the defensive advantage, Trigger, he holds. He does hold on. Deflects the Oracle in the main, forcing herO back. Blink is almost done. With the completion of Blink, he can chase herO down. What about the Adepts, though? What about the Adepts? Here he tries to recall. He will save 1 Stalker. Adepts take shading to the middle line. They force a recall as well. Stasis into the main. Trigger! Not paying attention. Stasis goes up. He gets off the mineral line. herO, he's bouncing back. Good couple of moments here for herO. Gets Stasis into the main. 2 more Adepts towards the mineral line. This time, though, Trigger is in position. And remember, he has Blink. Trigger, he's holding on. He's down in workers. herO with the better economy. Taking extra gases. Saturating his bases. Trigger not quite there. Setting up your proxy. Trigger does have the Stalker advantage. True. Ooh, and herO, he will find the pylon. Yeah, big scout for herO. Does find the pylon. Will shut down the probe. No proxy. No gateway. Trigger taking a third instead. And Trigger has some catching up to do. Does have to catch up in the economy and the probe count. Moving up with the Stalkers. He can reinforce. He can poke in. And now trade herO. Remember, herO does not have Blink. Glaives on the way for herO. herO is going for an Immortal Glaive all in on 2 bases. Makes sense. Considering the game state, considering how chaotic it's been, herO is going to commit. Ooh. Catches the Stalker. Stasis catching the army as well. And Trigger having a hard time. We'll clean up the Oracle at least. But the Stalkers, they get trapped. They do get trapped. And Trigger, he's going to have to try to save them. Once again, reinforcing. Poking in with the Stalkers. Blink is not going to be available for this. Oh, there we go. Does blink away, just in time. Does pull out. A little bit of a misrally here from Trigger. Oh, bleeding out another Stalker. Every unit counts here. Especially against this kind of build. herO setting up for an eventual third. Here he's shading across the map. He's got Glaive Adepts. Making his way towards the natural. Trigger trying to set up. And we're trying to respond. The boys are being pulled. Probes are going down. And damage is being done. And here comes Trigger. Sorry, herO's main army is pushing forward. Trigger taking a lot of hits. Stalkers, they dive in. He gets 1. He gets 2. 2 Immortals go down. There's 1 Immortal left. We'll clean them up. And what about the Adepts? They shade past the army, headed towards the mineral lines. Trigger forced a recall. Does keep up. Adepts, they keep pushing in. Trigger is trying to keep up here, but again, falling behind an army supply. Adepts, they get into the mineral line. Probes are going down. Trigger trying to keep up against the mass Adept. That's a lot of Adepts. And he shades in. He shades in. He's pulling Trigger apart. Does dive on the army. Gets us around. So many Adepts. Boys are being pulled in a moment of desperation. And that's going to be 7 more probes going down. Trigger, he will hold though. He will clean this up. We'll clean up every single Adept. herO does take an economic advantage going into a DT follow-up. Oh, he's crazy. Going into DTs. He just doesn't stop. He doesn't slow down. Behind this, Trigger is trying to keep up. Does Trigger have detection? He does have 1 observer on the way, thankfully. And does Trigger notice? Does he notice the DTs? I don't think he does. He's focusing on his own push, which means DTs are making their way into the mineral lines, and they will cripple the economy. Yeah, DTs in every single base. And they get revealed. Probes are going down. Observer has arrived. Oh my god, 12 workers already. Trigger, he's racing back home. Will's out of position. And DTs are wreaking havoc, and they cripple the economy. Despite the base count, doesn't even matter. Does not matter, not anymore. 15 probe kills, and DTs, they survive. Going for the pylon, depowering the shield batteries. Trigger trying to keep up, trying to respond. The pylon goes down. And DTs, they waddle away. waddle away from there. Trigger trying to maintain himself. Meanwhile, here he's built up another army. This time with Immortals, with Adepts. Here we go, he's pushing in. Hero reinforcing. Still 2 base all in. And Trigger, once again, he's not at home. I believe recall's on cooldown. Oh no, it is available. He just needs the energy. Turns back around. Oh. Goes inside the Prism. Prism goes down. Nice pickup. Nice snipe. War Prism does fall, but that's still 3 Immortals. Trigger kiting back. Yep, say don't commit. Ooh, rough move command. Yeah, rough move command here by Trigger. Shield batteries are exposed. They're going down one after the other. Trigger dives in. He gets 1. He gets 2. He gets 2 Immortals. There's 1 Immortal left. Oh my god. And it looks like Trigger, he will hold. He will clean up the army. And if say bust into the mineral line. Probes are going down. And a head-on fight. Trigger, he can take this. But here he's avoiding the fight. He shades in towards the main. Trigger, he had a full wall. Nice setup here. Full wall is set up. And Epsay try to break in. They're being locked down. Shade towards the third. There's a recall towards the third base. Nicely done here by Trigger. He's keeping up. Very clutch recall. As the Epsay shade past the army, they at least try to. Oh my god. Forcing out the blinks. Prism into the main. Hero now going to be expanding. It's a late expansion for Hero, and Hero is being outscaled. Trigger, he can pull this off. A little bit more, a little bit further. Hero jumping into the main. Remember, recall's on cooldown. It was already used. Probes are going down, but Trigger is committing. He's committing across the map. What is it to defend? Probes getting caught. So there's 1 Immortal. That's not enough. Trigger, he might have just done it. Might have just pulled this off. Ooh, there are DTs though to defend. Nice snipe with the Immortal. Observer comes in. DTs are coming from the surround, but there is detection. And DTs are cleaned up. Max, oh, someone said Max packs. Trigger, he's pulling it off. He's crazy. He's going in. Trigger trying to knock down the base. Ooh, is stuck attacking the expansion though. Immortal goes down. It's a wasted DPS. Trigger, he's distracted. Oh my god, 19 probe kills. He was distracted by the DTs. The Invisible Man is just too much. The DTs are wreaking havoc. Base of workers are going down left and right. Trigger, he is all in. He's down to 29 workers, barely in economy. The move command! Move command's up the ramp. And Hero's holding. Hero, he's holding on. Trigger sending everything across the map. DT, sorry, Adepts moving out once again. Trigger is so close to breaking Hero. He's so close. Reinforcements have arrived. The Immortals are holding their own. Adepts, they get across the map. The non-stop harassment, the non-stop counterattacks. Trigger, does he recall? Has to pull away. Now he commits. He dives on in, takes on the Prism. The Immortal as well. Still a rough trade though. Trigger does have the upgrade advantage. Can break through. At the same time, Trigger is losing everything. Losing more probes. Another Immortal does trickle in. Hero will, sorry, Trigger, he will snipe it. Hero being forced back. Trigger, can he break Hero? 3 Stalkers left. 3 Stalkers remaining. Ooh, nice blinks out of Hero. Does preserve his units. Immortal has arrived. Hero, he's holding. He's holding on. Oh my god. Trigger has to back off. Behind this, he has been able to build up his economy. Has rebuilt his probes. Has a comparable worker count to Hero. Very clutch. Very close. Trigger taking another expansion. Taking another base. Such a close game state here. Now, the big Stalker lead that Trigger once had isn't really there anymore. He has Stalkers, yes, but... Oh, does catch a DT. Nicely done. Hero saturating his third. Trigger still reinforcing. At least he has that upgrade advantage with +1. Just have the upgrades. Link is done for Hero. Trigger! Bleeding out a Stalker. Every unit counts. Gets the Observer. Observer gets sniped, and here he's going to keep on pushing. Chasing Trigger down. Reinforcements, they arrive just in time. Nice juggling though, nice control out of herO. Trigger, he has to pull away. Trigger, he has a massive economic lead now. No shield batteries. Oh, he has a cannon, but no shield batteries here back at home. Nice concave though. Trying to hold the line. Meanwhile, Trigger's fourth base is unscouted, plus 2 has begun. Trigger trying to keep up. Picking away at the army. So far, Trigger is holding on. More reinforcements on the way. Trigger reinforcing with slow lots. I mean, that's how desperate he is. I mean, hey, they can tank some shots. They can tank some shots. They can. But I'd say they threaten the Shade once again. Shade gets cancelled. Trigger pushing in. Nice force fields. Force fields, they do so the army. Immortal pushing forward. Shield battery coming into play. And here he's gaining ground. He's pushing towards the south. Meanwhile, nice round here from Trigger. Does kite back well. He kites well. Another massive warp in. herO has momentum. He's pushing through. Again, that one immortal in the back line is doing so much. And Trigger, he can't deny it. He can't break it. The boys are being pulled. Trigger getting desperate. The immortal's getting low. Probes are going down. Trigger, he can afford it though, but GG gets called. There's just too much, and herO takes the game and ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. Oh my god, crazy game. GG, well played. GG, herO does tie it up 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Oh my god, a very, very intense game there. Again, Trigger, he had so many strong moments, but at the same time, the non-stop Adept harass and DT harass as well was crazy and was pulling him apart. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. Trigger letting us know that he was getting very nervous as well. I mean, you know, understandable. He is a little bit less experienced than some of these other players, but the talent is there. The skill is there. 100%. Let's go. Where we headed next? Here we go. And so it is, we are jumping into the ace match. Here we go. So we're getting into the ace match, getting into ley lines here as game 3. Whew. And again, this could still go either way. Ay, ay, ay. We'll see if he can claim it. As Trigger has gotten so close in both games. I mean, herO on the flip side has to tighten things up, clearly, as that was so chaotic. But here we go, we're getting into the ace match, and spawning in the top right hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Canadian Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Basilisk, who being forced into the ace match. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is a Trigger. Let's go. Let us go. Yes, we are going to be settling in. And we'll see how this story ends. I mean, again, herO, he has been very fond of going for those gates. Cyber expands. We'll see if he does it again. Likewise, we'll see if Trigger does reciprocate as well. Gases are being placed. There we go. 2-gate opener out of Trigger. Likewise, for the first time this series, 2-gate opener out of herO. Let's go. It is going for the 2-gate opener. Likewise, I do see herO dip in. Just getting a full scout, making sure there's no shenanigans going on. Speaking of shenanigans, let's go. Trigger going for the proxy, going for the pylon here out in the center of the map. It's going to be all or nothing. Pylon has been placed, and show us what you got. Show us the robo. I'm assuming it's going to be a robo here on ley lines. Cybercore is now done. herO, he does take note that the pylon is missing. He knows either a real or fake proxy pylon. And we see it's a very real one. And there it is, the robo has in place. One base all in at a trigger. herO back at home, opening up double stalker. herO has yet to really confirm what's going on. As he's moving out. Likewise, we can see Trigger trying to chase down that probe, trying to deny scouting. Probe is going to be chased down. Nice pickup. Meanwhile, herO, he responds with a robo. Defensive robo, so very solid setup here by herO. Defensive robo, third gateway as well. herO, he's getting ready for the all-in. He hasn't confirmed it, but he's getting ready. And he can also turn this into his own counter all-in, if his opponent was playing macro. Immortals on the way. herO, he's looking for the pylon, looking for the proxy. herO likewise scouting towards the right-hand side. Setting up his own reinforcing pylon. Again, as I mentioned, like if he confirms that it's a standard opener, then he can turn this into a more all-in and get across the map. Oh! Trigger gets caught out. Oh, massive shots going off, and the first stalker will not go down. Barely escapes, barely survives. Whew, gets away. One has arrived. Trigger massing up. As hero's rotating. Hero's being active. Likewise, Trigger moving in. Now with a second immortal. herO has yet to really fully confirm. So you can see he's getting ready in the main, getting ready for either an Oracle or a Warp Prism. Trying to piece it all together. Got his own defensive immortal. The Observer is spotted. Likewise, Observer spots the main army. And this is not going to be an easy assault from Trigger. Not going to be easy. Observer dips in. Does confirm. Likewise, Trigger reinforcing with sentries, which means they can, of course, force field. They can slice up the army. But herO has his own defensive prism, so he can counter that. Trigger headed for the main. Observer gets spotted. Oh, prism does get spotted. Takes a lot of hits. And we come in for the surround. The prism is going to be targeted, and it does not go down. Whew. Just barely not. Nice done here by Trigger. He pulls away in time. Trades against the Stalkers, gets one. Nice kind of juggling, though. And Trigger is playing with fire. He has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull away. And he will. He will get out. Behind this, still reinforcing. Stargate's on the way, I would imagine, for Phoenixes. And with Phoenixes, you can help, of course, lift. You can lift count the opposing immortals. Hunt down the Warp Prism. Bolts move. Trigger, he's supply blocked. As hero's going to be the one that moves out now. Does move out. Oh no! Trigger! Is he noticing? No! He doesn't notice! Oh, Prism goes down. Immortals as well. Brutal pickoff. Ay, ay, ay. That should not have happened. Trigger, he was distracted. Not like this. And hero's pushing in. Will threaten a dive. Ay, ay, ay. Likewise, Trigger, he gets his steps across the map, but things are looking bleak. Does get into the mineral line, but there's an army waiting for him. Commits to the shade, will lose all the adepts. Proxy gets scouted, will be depowered, and herO, he's all over this. I mean, after sniping those two immortals, I mean, that's the win has been taken out of the sails of Trigger. Robo goes down, Trigger attempts to expand. But again, herO setting up for his own all-in. herO will soon move out. And the main army has been activated. We have 2 adepts threading another shade. Runs into herO. We'll at least keep herO pinned for the time being. At least try to. Adepts say kill the probe. But the adepts are cornered. And the adepts should go down. And now herO, there's nothing keeping him back. Now he can commit. There's nothing holding him back. Gonna be sending everything across the map. And it's gonna be up to Trigger to survive, to defend. How many Phoenixes? 2. 2 Phoenixes, soon to be 3. 3 Phoenixes, he can of course lift. He can lift up the Immortals. He can try to pull off the defense. Once again, though, it's not gonna be easy. herO rotating around. He's got the Immortal advantage. He's got the Stalker lead. The Adept lead. He's ahead in everything. He's got 5 Immortals. Jesus. That's crazy. Locks down the army, and from here, herO can solo out of control. The force fields get thrown down from both sides. Locking the army away. And herO should be able to overwhelm. Yeah, the Phoenixes are doing what they can to lift up one of the Immortals. I mean, the force fields are slowing him down, but eventually they will run out. Yeah, Trigger, he runs out of force fields. The final force field. Shield batteries are out of energy. And herO, he snowballs out of control. GG gets called, and herO will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. herO will take it. Congratulations, my condolences, Trigger. But again, Trigger, he played so well, especially in the first 2 games. Here in game 3, it all fell apart a little bit earlier on. But game 2 was so close. There were so many moments in game 2 where Trigger, he almost took the series himself. He almost doubled out of control. It was crazy close and chaotic how game 2 was. In the end, herO does take it. And now we have our 2 finalists. It's going to be a grand finals here between herO and Clem. Let's get ready for that best of 5.